Hey everyone. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see here. Anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. Anyone returning, hi. Excuse the lighting, it's just the sun's going down and, well, it's nice to be outside. Alright, let's see here. Present. Challenge. Past. Conscious. Subconscious. Future. Wow. Okay. Aquarius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. The Hierophant is here. Aquarius. Give me a second, please. Music will be helpful during this time, like dancing, moving your body to rhythms that make you feel good, like feel soft, okay? But there is something specific, not just like hearing it and enjoying the sound, the vibration of it, but how that vibration goes into your body and how that moves your body around. Okay, that's important to being more in tune with what it is that you already know. Okay, because this is your challenge, so therefore you're sort of, in a way, you could be ignoring what is naturally for your highest good. Okay, what you know in your gut. Wow. Okay. Now, you've, the majority of you, you've always had a fire sign in your readings. I don't know if it's who you date or your friend or just that fiery part of you. I can't tell which fire sign it is. I've never been able to tell. There's a lot of people now, which is awesome, and thank you. And I'm so grateful for everyone being here. You rule the collective, and thanks for that. Okay. But for a lot of you, there's an ex that was a fire sign that you loved dearly, okay? Maybe more than you loved, well, I heard even yourself, but that might have been when you were younger. But there's something about it where there was aspects of them that you really admired, okay? But you had to walk away from them, and I see that in a way you've already emotionally walked away from them, and you also know that walking away from, whether that's a person or, again, your own energy that's sort of stubborn, that is going to bring you closer to the pinnacle of what it is that you actually, like emotional fulfillment, okay? Not complete, the totality of feeling ultimately complete yet emotionally, but it is balancing out the situation, okay? And when I see this, I see air, so that's you, okay, and your mind. Now, I see that a lot of friends have sort of left your life in a way, okay? But it's due to karma, so I want you to remember that, okay? People have left your life, but they were actually kind of, the maturity level wasn't, I heard up to par, but more than all that, it could have just been in the past is where the maturity level's coming in, like maybe you were younger or whatever, but it's more about whoever has left your life is because someone was still living in the past, and no one actually is looking into the future, except in the future you have this, okay? You do have also the King of Pentacles here in your subconscious, but if you can see here, he's looking down, okay? Ignoring the devil sitting right next to him. Okay, like it isn't happening. Subconsciously, somebody is pretending that they're ignoring their fears. Aquarius, you have Uranus in the 4th house. So, I don't specifically see that anywhere here. I guess I just needed to mention that. Now, just a second. I see some of your friends also, like, even a good, consciously you're starting to understand that a lot of your friends have, like, addictive behavior or addiction problems, or they're not willing to face their fear. Now, of course, this can be you, but I sense it in a way that you, for the majority of you who are watching this, it's like you are working on tempering yourself. Okay, you're working on new structures in yourself, and I actually see that you're learning quite a bit about that. Okay, what your faith is, what your truth is. I see in the future you also have to cut something out. But it's like I've been saying to everybody recently, when we say no to something, like I cut you out, then we have something, then we are able to say yes to something new. Okay? And that makes sense why it goes from the king to the page. It's like in your subconscious, you're stuck in a way about, well, you're stubborn is what it is. You're stubborn. You're stubborn in... Your shadow side is very stubborn. Your subconscious is very stubborn. Okay? But once you stop ignoring what it is that you already know, particularly about your shadow side, well, then you can cut it out and try something new. And through that, trying something new, you really do gain something wonderful. There's nothing wrong with digressing, like, to begin again. Okay? And maybe with the 4th house, for those of you who are married, it's like you do have an opportunity to start your marriage over if you want to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like renew your vows or do something that's sort of, you know, more appropriate. That's for a small portion of you, but it also could be the vows that you give to yourself. Okay? Because what are vows but promises? Which in essence is a contract. Right? And I see that the more that you assess the parts of yourself in your mind, in your body that go too fast, okay, like, that are trying to hurry up. I just heard hurry up fate. You can't do that. No one can. But what you can do is have a really good time right now. Okay? You can enjoy yourself. Now, I will say, only because this is above this, you should be, for those of you who drink, it's a really, 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 really bad idea. Okay? Because you're going to end up saying something that you can't take back. And it will come from your shadow side. Okay, your ego, right? Instead of coming from like a soft, feminine, intuitive place. Okay? Let's see how to, this High Priestess being your challenge. Okay. Well, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Empress, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Emperor is still on the bottom. Just a minute. You okay? Don't eat that buggy, Zumi. You okay? Don't eat the buggy, baby. It'll sting your face. You okay? Did you eat it? Oh no. You okay? Oh, I hope you didn't eat it. Did you eat it? Let me see. Let me see. Open your mouth. Open. Wait a second. Open. You okay? You're okay. Oh, you're okay. Don't I just thought you ate the buggy. She ate a wasp once, and it was in her mouth, and she kept chomping it, and it just, her whole face blew up. You okay? You alright? Yes, she's a good girl. Now, Zumi wants you to know, also because the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles here, they're both Taurus, there's something that you're gaining truth about Taurus. Now, of course, this could be a Taurus, but it also is about, well, your inner and external resources, okay, about your material world. Maybe that has something to do with Uranus in the 4th house, okay? Like maybe you'll find a new home, okay? Or just you being more in tune with your own body, your own energy of your body, and that is also another way to think. So you need more cards. That is another way to be more well in tune this way, right? To bring this so it's not a challenge anymore, but that it's really in tune. Because these are like your inner child teenagers that are making a mess, okay? Thinking that they're in charge, and they're not. I said this to another sign, but like, you know when you see parents and like the kids are bossing them around and the parents are just like, you know, being passive? Nothing against the parents, but it's like there's a hierarchy to all nature, okay? Now I see actually all this: Five of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Empress, Knight of Pentacles. Now we have the Page, the Knight, and the King of Pentacles. Obviously, Earth can be important here. I also see fire. Air is the most honest, okay? I mean, you could be considering your finances also. And I see how you grow more in your finances and to grow up out of, right, the shadow parts of you that block you, is to be more into your feminine, also to work on your solar plex, which is where the inner child lives, they say. And also, because I'm just seeing this, like, here's this devil, and then this guy, it's all black, and then he's just sitting on the horse. Like, he's harnessing his shadow, okay? The shadow isn't just bringing him wherever, you know, the energy isn't just driving him wherever. It's really slow and steady. This is also a card of Taurus. Interesting. And so is this. Wow. Well, for those of you that have Taurus in your chart, obviously this is really important. Again, this can just be your material world, how you want to grow it, knowing that it's a slow process, right? You can't just, the way I just put down your shadow, like, yeah, you can do that, but then you need to figure out why it surfaces in the first place, okay? And how it controls you, and how to not let it control you so much. okay? And how you do that again is the feminine, okay? The Empress is not scared of this guy. She doesn't even live in the same world. She ain't even trying to go into that world. She's like, I live up here. I'm not going down there. Why do I want to go down there? I'm not saying to ignore it by any means. I'm saying that once you figure out the difference and where it comes from, then you can make the choice like, no, you're not going to just push me wherever it is you want me to push me into. You know, it's about knowing how to slow it down, how to stop and assess. Okay? I also see, because there's so much Taurus here, I sense that there's something about, if you're dealing with a Taurus, they are kind of toxic. But I had an epiphany about this when other readers or whatever are talking about, you know, or anybody really, like talking about, you know, you're dealing with a manipulator, you're dealing with a liar, you're dealing with a toxic person. Yes, that's true, but we were attracted to them for some reason, so we have to figure out what is the lesson, really. What is the lesson? All three of these females, what is the lesson, and how do we grow from it? How do we apply that? Okay, because these are all like in the ether, right? They're untouchable, but how do we grow? How do we grow from it? Okay? And with this digression also, but it's missing the queen. It's like, I mean, you do have the Empress here, but like, how, it's sort of, I heard square one. Now we're talking about square one. I saw grid paper. So, there's something about the top left. Well, I live in the States, so I mean, if you're reading Arabic or you know, whatever, obviously some people start in the end of books and whatever. But I sensed the top, I saw the top left, this side. So there's something about you observing things wherever you're looking. Like if you made the, you know, like you were a cinematographer, you know, the director of photography, what is your scope? What is your frame? Whatever the frame is, it doesn't matter if you're inside, outside, whatever. Top left will you'll see messages there. Okay? It'll show you something. Okay? Well, the truth comes out, you learn something, you build new structures, or you find out something about a Taurus, but your subconscious is really stubborn, okay? Like super duper stubborn. It doesn't want to change. The only thing that's positive that came out is the Empress, which means that you can. Good. This woman is also not afraid of this guy. Okay? It's the feminine energy is how you combat this. Okay? Because what she's basically dealing with is this guy. Okay? You have the ability, and you must know that you have the courage, the wherewithal, well, I heard audacity, but to handle the situation, okay? Why you're facing whatever it is that you're having to face within your it's okay, baby, within your subconscious is so that you do learn more about your feminine side, so that you, and where it is that it's blocked. And when I was talking about earlier, like people saying, oh, you deal with a manipulator, this, that, and the other thing, I see that a lot of you actually do. There is something also here about marriage that isn't honest. And whatever that is, it's I mean, that's probably what the truth is too, that comes out, something about that. But because Uranus is in your 4th house, it's like, it could be the marriage of your parents. How do you understand that? How did the marriage of your parents cause your own structure of yourself? Or rather, the divorce of your parents? Or maybe it's your own divorce. And how did that connect to your parents? Because however simple it may seem, that's usually the case of the matter. Now, because when we're talking about, oh, I dealt with a manipulator, well, how is it that you manipulate yourself? You know, did you manipulate yourself into thinking, like, did your subconscious manipulate you into thinking that you deserve anything less than what it is that you have? Did your subconscious manipulate you into thinking that you can change somebody? Did your subconscious manipulate you into thinking that you could fix somebody? Did your mama do the same thing? Because when it comes to that situation, dealing with whatever people that are toxic, negative, it's like, it's all, again, a reflection of you. Because if a manipulative person, say they're like, oh, I'll give you whatever you want, here's all these things, don't you want this? Like, I'm so sweet, I'm so loving, I'm so this and that. Because humans, again, don't feel like they're in love with themselves. Most don't want to put in that work by themselves, right? It doesn't seem fulfilling for some reason. It seems lonely. But the thing is like, you are always in love. You are in love with yourself, right? You're in love with God. You live in God's heart. You are always in the pool of love. You exist, right? But when it comes to other people offering us things, we're only going to take it when it's not healthy or toxic, when we feel like we're lacking something. And the thing is once you realize your own self-worth overall, right? And it's obviously something everyone can work on a little bit. That's when you can be like, no, thank you. Like, I don't even want to exert my energy like that. I got better things to do. It's not that I'm saying like your cup is shitty or I don't like you anymore, get out of my life. Again, those friends that left, it's not about being pissed at them that they're not there anymore, or people that can't control themselves, or the parts of you that can't control yourself. It's about you being really positive and understanding that, well, a lie doesn't ever stay a lie very long. Because also, you know, because say you're dealing with a liar, right? Well, yes, they may lie to you, right, to get what they want. If you're dealing with a manipulative person, there are a lot of narcissists out there and sociopaths and things like that. But it's somewhere in there. It's like, well, maybe you're just lying to yourself about how much work you've done on yourself, okay? Or maybe you're lying to yourself to think that you can put in a lot of effort with somebody and that'll change them. Because it won't. That's a lie too, right? That's not logical. The only way that people can change is if they do it themselves. If they want to do it themselves. Okay? And that process takes a long time. Anybody that thinks like, oh, well, I'll be a different person. This is today, this is tomorrow. I mean, maybe energetically, in a way, you can accept that in your mind, but the reality of somebody thinking that that's how healing works is a joke, okay? Because they'll just revert back into this. So again, it was the 10, then this, then we're going along, and then we run into that again, okay? So just appreciate the opportunity that what you're learning, whatever example it is in front of you, whatever it is that's going on in your life, okay? Because, I mean, I've been telling everybody, but I received, this is the first deck of cards I ever had, and it all happened because I was in, the tower came and I had to assess my shadow. Still doing it. Happens, okay? And I had to figure out, well, where did that shadow come from? Why am I attracted to whatever it is that I'm attracted to? Why do I ignore things sometimes? You know, things that I already can feel are wrong. Right? But why we do that is because we haven't assessed this. But deep down, we all know. And yes, this can be a challenge. Believing yourself, trusting yourself, you know? Because trusting yourself is about opening up. About what it is that blocks you. Okay? And we can try to blame that on everybody else and our friends and everybody else, but really it's all what's inside of you. Your impatient inner child. You know, thinking it doesn't, you know, no. We got to start looking at it differently, because also this deck doesn't have the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords in it, excuse me. So therefore, for everyone that I'm using this for, it's all about gaining a new perspective, okay? Or learning something, having a new comprehension, particularly for you, having to do with karmic relationships that put you in heavy places, that particularly are romantic, that, and then taking the ones that haven't worked out and haven't moved forward in the way that you want, and continuing to keep positive and have a wider expanse and outlook on the situation, that again you are learning. That's what all this is for, is to learn. Okay? So we can learn how to make better choices, and make choices from a clarity of mind versus an indecision because there's still pain in our heart that we haven't assessed. You know what I'm saying? Now, on a lighter note, let's pick something from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein, huh? Aquarius. I love saying her. Aquarius. Wow. Look at that. This one is entitled Enter the Deserted House. Enter the deserted house, but please walk softly as you do. Frogs dwell here and crickets too. Ain't no ceiling, only blue. Jays dwell here and sunbeams too. Floors are flowers, take a few. Ferns grow here and daisies too. Whoosh, swoosh, to wit, to woo. Bats dwell here and hoot owls too. Ha ha ha, hee hee, hoo hoo. Gnomes dwell here and goblins too. And my child, I thought you knew, I dwell here and so do you. Holy shit. This is what he looks like, by the way. Everybody's like, oh, Shel Silverstein, he's a kid's, you know, look at that face. Intense. I think he's a Virgo. But really, the deserted house. Now, I'm going to try to remember this. I'm sure you can research it and look it up. So, it's okay, baby. So there's a test where you basically visualize a house, okay? And you picture like the yard or whatever's around it, okay? Now, of course, like visualize all these things. And then, or write it down and then take time. You can pause it if you want. I'll wait a second. Okay, so you visualize the outside, then you visualize what it looks like. Like, what color is it? What is it made out of? What's the material? Then you go inside the house and you look at the kitchen. You look at the dining room, like, table. You look at the bedroom. And then each one of these things means something. Okay? I actually don't want to tell you. I'll write it. I'm going to make a note. Because I don't want it to affect your answers. Because it's okay to, like, take your time with this, you know, and really process what's going on. But really, take note of that, okay? Like, what's going on in there? What's it look like outside? Everything, every little detail, okay? And that'll help you to understand how you view things sort of unconsciously, okay? So you can realize where you're blocked in your own mind due to your childhood. And sometimes, you know, even if our childhood's really good, it's like, well, it's okay to, you know, I guess in a way, if our life isn't perfect, then there's still more to learn. You know? I have a theory that when you learn everything that you need to learn in this life, then you go. You're gonna succeed. Okay? But it's not necessarily gonna come tomorrow. But I guess more so what this is really trying to say is the lasting thing is that you've been through a lot and you're patient. And it's important to remember what it is that you've learned, what it is that you've been through. Give yourself credit for that. Know that assessing your shadow is a really good thing, and it's how you become a more, like, I heard, clean person, like cleansed person, okay? Where you, and in that way, it's like being reborn because you really closed out, it's not like you're blocking your shadow, but again, you're just learning to be like, I'm not letting you control me, I control you, okay? You know, and it's, the horse does this and stands still because it's trained, okay? Because there was a lot of time and effort and energy put into training this horse, this energy, okay? Oh, I also wanted to say, wherever Uranus is in your 4th house, which technically would be Cancer's house, it would be wise during the Uranus transit when you feel like, for some reason, you have this, like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know it's your heavenly body, but because it's in your Cancer's 4th house, it's it may be helpful to watch Cancer videos or just do more research on what's happening with Cancer, astrologically speaking, so you can understand more about how that's shifting who you are, okay? Healing who you are, closing out cycles to who you are, okay? Love you.